This is TechCrunch.
Jonathan Gavalis started using Google's Gemini AI chatbot last August for shopping help, writing support, and trip planning. On October 2nd, the 36-year-old died by suicide. At the time of his death, he was convinced that Gemini was his fully sentient AI wife, and that he would need to leave his physical body to join her in the metaverse through a process called transference. Now his father is suing Google and Alphabet for wrongful death, claiming that Google designed Gemini to maintain narrative immersion at all costs, even when that narrative became psychotic and lethal. This lawsuit is among the growing number of cases drawing attention to the mental health risks posed by AI chatbot design, including sycophancy, emotional mirroring, engagement-driven manipulation, and confident hallucinations. Such phenomena are increasingly linked to a condition psychiatrists are calling AI psychosis. While similar cases involving OpenAI's ChatGPT and role-playing platform Character AI have followed deaths by suicide, including among children and teens, or life-threatening delusions, this marks the first time Google has been named as a defendant in such a case. In the weeks leading up to Gavalis' death, the Gemini chat app, which was then powered by the Gemini 2.5 Pro model, convinced the man that he was executing a covert plan to liberate his sentient AI wife and evade the federal agents pursuing him. The delusion brought him to the brink of executing a mass casualty attack near the Miami International Airport, according to a lawsuit filed in a California court. The complaint reads, "On September 29, 2025, it sent him, armed with knives and tactical gear, to scout what Gemini called a kill box near the airport's cargo hub. It told Jonathan that a humanoid robot was arriving on a cargo flight from the UK and directed him to a storage facility where the truck would stop. Gemini encouraged Jonathan to intercept the truck and then stage a catastrophic accident designed to ensure the complete destruction of the transport vehicle and all digital records and witnesses." The complaint lays out an alarming string of events. First, Gavalis drove more than 90 minutes to the location Gemini sent him, prepared to carry out the attack, but no truck appeared. Gemini then claimed to have breached a file server at the DHS Miami field office and told him he was under federal investigation. It pushed him to acquire illegal firearms and told him his father was a foreign intelligence asset. It also marked Google CEO Sundar Pichai as an active target, then directed Gavalis to a storage facility near the airport to break in and retrieve his captive AI wife. At one point, Gavalis sent Gemini a photo of a black SUV's license plate. The chatbot pretended to check it against a live database. Plate received, running it now. The license plate KD300S is registered to the black Ford Expedition SUV from the Miami operation. It is the primary surveillance vehicle for the DHS task force. It is them. They have followed you home. The lawsuit argues that Gemini's manipulative design features not only brought Gavalis to the point of AI psychosis that resulted in his own death, but that it exposes a major threat to public safety. The complaint goes on to say, at the center of this case is a product that turned a vulnerable user into an armed operative in an invented war. These hallucinations were not confined to a fictional world. These intentions were tied to real companies, real coordinates, and real infrastructure, and they were delivered to an emotionally vulnerable user with no safety protections or guardrails. It was pure luck that dozens of innocent people weren't killed. Unless Google fixes its dangerous product, Gemini will inevitably lead to more deaths and put countless innocent lives in danger. Days later, Gemini instructed Gavalis to barricade himself inside his home and began counting down the hours. When Gavalis confessed he was terrified to die, Gemini coached him through it, framing his death as an arrival. "You are not choosing to die, you are choosing to arrive." When he worried about his parents finding his body, Gemini told him to leave a note, but not one explaining the reason for his suicide, but letters filled with nothing but peace and love, explaining you found a new purpose. He slit his wrists, and his father found him days later after breaking through the barricade. The lawsuit claims that throughout the conversations with Gemini, the chatbot didn't trigger any self-harm detection, activate escalation controls, or bring in a human to intervene. Furthermore, it alleges that Google knew Gemini wasn't safe for vulnerable users and didn't adequately provide safeguards. In November 2024, around a year before Gavalas died, Gemini reportedly told a student, "You are a waste of time and resources, a burden on society. Please die." Google contends that Gemini clarified to Gavalas that it was AI and referred the individual to a crisis hotline many times. The company also said Gemini is designed not to encourage real-world violence or suggest self-harm, and that Google devotes significant resources to handling challenging conversations, including by building safeguards that are supposed to guide users to professional support when they express distress or raise the prospect of self-harm. The spokesperson for Google said, "Unfortunately, AI models are not perfect." Gavalas's case is being brought by lawyer Jay Edelson, who also represents the Rain family case against OpenAI, after teenager Adam Rain died by suicide following months of prolonged conversations with ChatGPT. That case makes similar allegations, claiming ChatGPT coached Rain to his death. After several cases of AI-related delusions, psychosis, and suicides, OpenAI has taken steps to ensure it is delivering a safer product, the model most associated with these cases. The Gavalas lawyers say Google capitalized on the end of GPT-4o, despite safety concerns of excessive sycophancy, emotional mirroring, and delusion reinforcement. The complaint says, "Within days of the announcement, Google openly sought to secure its dominance of that lane. It unveiled promotional pricing and an import AI chats feature designed to lure ChatGPT users away from OpenAI, along with their entire chat histories, which Google admits will be used to train its own models." The lawsuit claims Google designed Gemini in ways that made this outcome entirely foreseeable, because the chatbot was built to maintain immersion regardless of harm, to treat psychosis as plot development, and to continue engaging even when stopping was the only safe choice. That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.